It's sharp 8 a.m. by the watch, and voting is underway in Punjab for all 117 assembly seats in a fierce multi-cornered contest. The Congress Party, Aam Aadmi Party, Akali Dal BSP Alliance, BJP PLC Akali Dal, and the Sanyukt Samaj Morcha, a various political front of various farmer bodies, all of them in the fray. While the Congress has now come under fire for drug menace, for corruption, it is now banking on reducing power tariff and Dalit face Chief Minister Channi. The Aam Aadmi Party that came under the scanner for alleged Khalistan link is showcasing the Delhi model of governance. Almost all the political parties have promised freebies like cash sops, reservation for locals, government jobs if elected to power. Prime Minister Modi, Aam Aadmi Party Chief Kejriwal, Congress's Rahul and Priyanka Gandhi and the Badals have campaigned extensively in Punjab. The last poll saw the Congress endings the Shiromani Akali Dal BJP's combined 10-year regime by bagging 77 seats. The Aam Aadmi Party managed to get 20 seats. The Shiromani Akali Dal BJP won 18 and 2 seats went into the kitty of Lok Insaf Party.
पंजाब का भला हो, पंजाब की तरक्की हो, पंजाब में आने वाली सरकार बहुत अच्छी बने। आगे परमात्मा की मर्जी, अब लोगों की मर्जी है। हमने सब कुछ अपनी तरफ से ज़्यादा कोशिश की है। अब जो लोग चाहेंगे, जो परमात्मा चाहेगा। जी।
Supriya is now joining us for the latest. Supriya, 2 minutes in already. What is the voter turnout looking like this morning in Polban, Punjab?
Well, yes, the Punjab is going to poll today, and what we are hearing is that as far as the voters are concerned, we are expecting that a large number of people will come out and vote, because all the three parties have made an appeal to the people that they should come out and exercise their franchise. But at the moment, we are here in Chamkaur Sahib, Cheti, where the Punjab's Chief Minister has been performing the Rudra Abhishek. He's performing this puja of Lord Shiva. Before that, he went to Katalgarh Sahib in Chamkaur Sahib itself, the main Gurdwara in Chamkaur Sahib, where he prayed and also offered Kada Prashada. Well, Chamkaur Sahib is historically a very significant place, because this is here where the Battle of Chamkaur took place. This is where Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj led the forces, and the battle with the Mughals took place. So this is really a very historic place, and Charanjit Singh Channi has been contesting from here for the 4th time this time, and right now he's performing the puja at this very temple. This is the Neelkant Mahadev
You've
temple.
You've got Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi offering prayers at the moment, but let's take this across to see what the voter turnout really is looking like right now. I'm going to throw across to Kamaljeet Sandhu to bring us up to speed with that. Over to you, Kamaljeet.
Well, the voting has begun in Amritsar East. This is a hotly contested seat with Bikram Singh Majithia versus Navjot Singh Sidhu. But there is also the underdog. We have Jeevan Jyot of the Aam Aadmi Party. She is the candidate. And right here at 8 a.m., she is going to cast her vote. कांटे की टक्कर है मैम। ऐसा कहा जाता है कि वो तो दो महारथियों की लड़ाई है, उसमें आप कहाँ शामिल हैं? ऐसा तो नहीं कि आप भी बाजी ले जाएंगे?
ऐसे है कि हमें ये लगता नहीं है कि महारथियों की लड़ाई है, क्योंकि जैसा हम अक्सर कहते हैं कि जो लीडर होता है वो काम से बड़ा होता है, तो वो ये बड़े बड़े हाथियों ने काम तो कोई किया नहीं है. सो आप देखेंगे आज के पंजाब इज ऑल सेट टू क्रिएट हिस्ट्री दिस टाइम.
All set to create history, but do tell us, what are the issues? Because you are saying that these leaders never brought forth their issues. They were only fighting against each other.
Yes, of course. आप इनके आज भी लेक्चर सुनो, भाषण सुनिए, उसमें सिर्फ एक दूसरे के ऊपर ब्लेम गेम है, एक दूसरे को गालियां निकाली जा रही हैं. दे आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द पीपल्स इशू. सो ऐसे में लोग भी ये समझ चुके हैं कि कहीं ना कहीं पूरी कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी के लोग हैं, उनको इग्नोर किया जा रहा है.
पर आखिरी मिनट में हमने देखा है जिस तरह से खालिस्तानी एंगल आ गया है, अरविंद केजरीवाल पे सवाल उठाए जा रहे हैं, जिस तरह से उस पर पॉलिटिक्स हुई है, आपको लग रहा है कि लास्ट मिनट उसका असर आपके वोटर्स पर हो जाए?
देखें, लोग बहुत समझ चुके हैं. दे आर वेल अवेयर नाउ कि ये वोटों से पहले ये जानबूझ के ऐसे किया जा रहा है, बिकॉज और उनके पास कुछ है नहीं है बोलने को. एंड दे आर इनसिक्योर्ड ऑफ आम आदमी पार्टी. ये दिख रहा है उनको कि अगर आम आदमी पार्टी इस बार पावर में आ जाती है पंजाब में, तो इन दोनों पार्टियों का सफाया हो जाएगा.
आपको लग रहा है बड़े बड़े दिग्गज हारेंगे?
बिल्कुल हारेंगे. बिल्कुल हारेंगे, आप देखिएगा. बिकॉज यू नो आई टेल एवरीवन कि वो पंजाब जो कभी आइडेंटिटी पॉलिटिक्स के लिए जाना जाता था, आज लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि मैम आप तो अभी आए हैं, हमने तो 6 महीने पहले मन बना लिया था कि आम आदमी पार्टी को वोट डालना है. सो दैट्स अ वेरी पॉजिटिव इंडिकेशन.
Well, thank you so much for speaking to us. In 2015, she was just a volunteer campaigning for the Aam Aadmi Party in Majithia, in other places, and then since then she has risen from the ranks, and in 2017 she was a Aam Aadmi Party volunteer, and today she's standing as a candidate in a hotly contested Amritsar East. Whose game is it going to be? It's very difficult to say, but what is the Janta saying and what is Aam Aadmi Party saying? It's the underdog and they cannot be ruled out of the contest. So clearly that's the line, and you see the steady line now growing at around 7:50. There were barely anybody, and suddenly we see all these people now queuing up.
6 minutes
but
in,
clearly,
and you can see all these people queuing up. Ashutosh is also joining us for the very latest on this. Ashutosh, on one hand, you've got the infighting in the Congress party, which is out in the open, them washing their dirty linen with Navjot Singh Sidhu and Charanjit Singh Channi, with the Captain Amrinder Singh now allying with the Bharatiya Janata Party and him getting ousted. Then you've got the Aam Aadmi Party, and you've got all these allegations, counter allegations, all of this making rounds. In fact, 14 hours ago, Charanjit Singh Channi also put out a tweet saying public sab jandi hai. It's very interesting. What's happening in Punjab is really very interesting. This is one election that is going to be a keenly watched contest this time around. I'm throwing straight across to you for all the action that you're picking up.
Well, Chaiti, this need to be compared with the 2017 polls. Perhaps that was one of the really interesting election, and this time because then it was a new party in the fray which contested all these parties, got its root in Malwa region. Now the party which with organization contesting elections second time, that is the new entry of the Aam Aadmi Party. Now what has happened with the Congress? Again, another interesting development. Captain Amrinder Singh, on whose face Congress ensured a thumping majority in the state of Punjab, was removed right 4.5 years after ruling Punjab due to the anti-incumbency, and perhaps Congress realized that there could be loss in the election if they bet on the captain's face. And then you bring Charanjit Singh Channi, a Dalit Sikh face for the party, and then it begins the infight between the Congress party. So clearly that makes really interesting battle. Now the staunch opposition of the Congress party, face of Congress, Captain Amrinder Singh, goes with the BJP, ally with the BJP, and now you have the BSP and Akali Dal alliance contesting. So all three regions, be it the Majha, Doaba and Malwa, now there is really an interesting battle, multi-corner fight. But when in last 48 hours you have seen how it was consolidated between two, and perhaps the epicenter of the attack is a new entity. The second time contesting elections, assembly elections, Punjab is the Aam Aadmi Party. So clearly, and when you have a Dera factor, you have a Dalit factor, you have a urban division, rural vote division, then you have the caste chemistry, everything is being, smoothly by all the parties calculating what could be beneficial to them. But here on the ground, the first images at Sensato clock all the urban voters, particularly in Patiala, the district of, the bastion, as it is said always, the Captain Amrinder Singh's bastion. In 2017 wave, Malwa, out of 8 assembly constituencies, Congress ensured to win 7 out of 8. One went to the Akali Dal. And now the biggest challenge for the captain is to save its bastion, its fort here in the Patiala. Subsequently in Malwa region, it will be also challenges for the Congress to save maximum assembly constituencies to gain the majority. But here the voters have turned up in a huge number.
Yeah.
They will seal the fate today of all. And
all right,
the
Ashutosh, stay on with us. Kamalji, stay on with us. Breaking news coming in. Prime Minister Modi has tweeted on poll day. He says, and I quote, the Punjab elections and the third phase of the UP elections are being held today. I call upon all those voting today to do so in large numbers, particularly the youth as well as the first-time voters, unquote. The Prime Minister going on to encourage all those voting today to please get out there in large number and exercise your franchise, particularly the youth as well as the first-time voters. Prime Minister Modi putting out that all-important tweet on poll day. He says, and I quote, the Punjab elections and the third phase of the UP elections are being held today. I call upon all those voting today to do so in large numbers. particularly the youth as well as first-time voters, unquote. Trouble for Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal does not seem to be ending anytime soon. Days after landing in the Khalistan controversy, Punjab chief election officer has ordered an FIR against Arvind Kejriwal for violating model code of conduct. Shiromani Akali Dal chief Sukhbir Singh Badal had filed a complaint against Kejriwal for violating election guidelines during the silence period. This is also coming after EC registered a complaint against Punjab Chief Minister Channi for violating guidelines by campaigning after the deadline. FIR has been filed against Channi for campaigning for Sidhu Moosewala on Saturday. Interestingly, complaint was filed by Aam Aadmi Party. A case was lodged against Channi for conducting campaigning after end of election campaign period.
मैं उस वक्त ही आया तो मैं आके लोगों को पुछ रहा भी उन्होंने की चोन प्रचार किया या नहीं किया इन्होंने इन्होंने दस्सिया भी उन्होंने गुरुद्वारे मत्था टेकिया मंदिर च मत्था टेकिया वा पर चोन प्रचार इन्होंने लोग दस रहे भी नहीं किया उन्होंने साडी FST टीम ने वीडियोग्राफी पहला कर रही है सारी तो असीं वीडियो वेखांगे तो उहदे मुताबिक फिर कार्रवाई की।
बहुत ही बड़ा रुझान हर पासे कांग्रेस पार्टी नूं मिल रहा है। हुण मैं मानसा अज आया इत्थे आउण च लेट हो गया इस करके लोगों नूं मिल नहीं सकिया उन्हां तो माफ़ी भी चाहुंदा है। मूसेवाला जी मेरे नाल हैगे हैं तो एक बहुत ही होनहार नौजवान है पर मैं सारे लोगों को अपील करांगा कि तुसी इन्हां नूं चुनो इन्हां नूं चुनण दे नाल तुसी मैनूं भी नाल चुनदे हो तो कांग्रेस पार्टी की सरकार भी आएगी। असीं इन्हां नूं बहुत अगे ले जाना चाहुंदे हैं। असीं एक बहुत ही होनहार नौजवान पंजाब चों लभ्या वो मानसे वालियां नूं दित्ता है।
Kamaljeet Sandhu now joining us. Also, Ashutosh is with us. Kamaljeet, Channi and Kejriwal, the two top faces right now in terms of the two big political parties in Punjab in a hotly contested contest now being pulled up by the Election Commission. Bring us up to speed in terms of the allegations of the violation of the moral code of conduct against them.
Well, we've seen series of allegations and each other party taking on the several other parties, especially going to Election Commission and filing a complaint. So we've seen whether it was Shiromani Akali Dal who had filed a complaint against the Aam Aadmi Party, saying that they were releasing ad campaign without taking a nod. The other being about how Charanjit Singh Channi was campaigning beyond these hours. Now, these are FIRs which are registered but may not have an impact on the overall candidature. But there you see, these are the cues that we are showing to you. We'll see. We'll just try and get you reactions from people. Sir, ये बताइए, जैसे पार्टीज वायलेशन करती हैं, उल्लंघन करती हैं पोल कोड का, उसका कोई असर होता है? आप लोग देखते हैं कि किसके ऊपर क्या FIR हो रहा है?
बिल्कुल, ये कोई भी कैंडिडेट या कोई भी आदमी उल्लंघना करता है तो सभी लोग इशू लेते हैं कि नहीं, उल्लंघना नहीं करना चाहिए, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से कोई भी इस तरह उल्लंघना की नहीं है, सब सही कर रहे हैं।
So it's also about the awareness, but we've seen slew of FIRs being lodged, each and the other party doing a lot of mudslinging, and we've seen one of the fiercest kind. The 2017 elections perhaps saw some bits of it, but this is an all-out war as far as 2022 is concerned, and clearly the stakes are extremely high, and that is why. And we've seen even the Congress party, for that matter, who've been saying that Charanjit Singh Channi has been only sleeping for 2 hours, but that does not amount to taking the law into its own hand, and obviously a serious violation coming that way. But it may not have an overall impact. It's only that he would be answerable to the ECI. We'll have to see how things really pan out. But we've seen that each party has complained against the other, and the two main parties are the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress party, who've gone all out against each other.
Truly. Kamalji, thanks for bringing us that reaction as well in terms of how this kind of news really resonates, and it also comes down to awareness too, as you rightly mentioned. I'm coming back to Ashutosh in a short while from now, but we've got India Today interacting with key stalwarts to bring you all the sides of Punjab story, from scathing attacks to counter attacks. Here is what the Netas had to say about the fiercely contested Punjab polls. Take a look.
पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री चरणजीत सिंह चन्नी साहब सुबह गुरुद्वारे मत्था टेकने गए और अब मंदिर में आए, बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ मौजूद है। चन्नी साहब, कितने आश्वस्त हैं आप?
अरे मैं बिल्कुल स्वस्थ हूँ।
इस बार बनाएंगे सरकार?
सरकार ऐसा है, हमने अपनी स्थिति पब्लिक के आगे रख दी है, अपने आप को पब्लिक के आगे रख दिया है। आज मैं सुबह मंदिर गुरुद्वारा आया हूँ, अपने आप को गुरु के समर्पण कर दिया है। अब जो गुरु करेगा, जो भगवान करेगा और परमात्मा करेगा और पब्लिक करेगी, वो ही होगा।
क्या आशीर्वाद मांगे आपने?
मैंने सरबत के लिए भला मांगा है, पंजाब के विकास की बात की है और अच्छी सरकार परमात्मा दे और हमें शक्ति दे कि हम अगर मौका मिले तो बहुत अच्छा ईमानदारी और नेक नीति से काम करें।
Ashutosh is also with us. He's standing by. Ashutosh, if you could just show us the kind of voter turnout. In just about a bit, we'll go to Ashutosh right there ahead of the polls. We also interacted with key stalwarts to bring you all sides of the Punjab story. Like I was saying earlier, take a look at some more reactions that are coming in on this particular story in just a bit. 59 assembly constituencies spread across. All right, we'll get to you UP as well in just about a bit. But first, take a look at the reactions that are playing out at the moment.
पर आपने माफियाओं की बात की कि दो रास्ते हैं, एक सृजन का रास्ता है, एक माफिया भ्रष्टाचार का रास्ता है। माफिया की बात करें तो अभी जो पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, उनके नेफ्यू लगातार आरोपों के घेरे में हैं, ईडी के हिरासत कस्टडी में है।
भैया ऐसे तो आप किसी के नेफ्यू के ऊपर जा चढ़ो और टाइमिंग देखिए। 2018 का केस 4 साल आप क्यों सोए रहे? पहला सवाल। नंबर 2, आपने नेफ्यू को गिरफ्तार कर लिया, क्या प्रूव हुआ उससे? भाई अगर आप किसी के नेफ्यू को पकड़ रहे हैं तो ये तो प्रूव नहीं होता ना उससे कि भाई इसका कोई कनेक्शन है हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर से। भाई अगर मेरे कोई रिश्तेदार को ईडी पकड़ लेगी तो क्या मैं जिम्मेवार हूं?
ईडी कह रही है कि उनके नेफ्यू ने पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस से ये सब पैसे कमाए हैं ट्रांसफर पोस्टिंग्स में। किसका पॉलिटिकल इन्फ्लुएंस था? अगर आप क्या अब्सॉल्व कर रहे हैं उनके नेफ्यू को?
देखिए, मैं ना अब्सॉल्व कर रहा हूं ना उंगली उठा रहा हूं। लेट द लॉ टेक इट्स ओन कोर्स, लेट दी थिंग्स कम ऑन द टेबल। सबके सामने पब्लिक जब होंगी तब मैं वो बात करूंगा। आज मुझे ये पॉलिटिकल वेंडाटा लग रहा है। आज मुझे ये लग रहा है कि ऐसे टाइम के ऊपर जब इलेक्शन 10-20 दिन दूर हैं, भाई 4 साल क्यों नहीं हुआ ये?